कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। Pādukā Devi Anubhavam. This is how my humble self I wish to call this. This one small incident that occurs towards the end of Ayodhya Kandam, where Bharata, who insisted that Rama should come back to Ayodhya and rule the subjects, while Rama refused, citing Pitruvakya Paripalanam, also wanted to bestow his grace on Bharata. Upon the advice of Vasishtha, asked Lakshmana to bring the pair of holy Padukas and grant it to Bharata. Bharata was extremely happy to sport the Padukas on his head for him. He said, instead of having the burden of the crown of Ayodhya on my head, I am having the Manipada Rakshe, the Pādukā Devi is of Rama, Ramachandra, Raghava on my head. And he went happily to the outskirts of Ayodhya called Nandigrama. And he was just in the execution committee. He was not ruling. Pādukā Devi, the representative of Rama called as Pādukā Devi, the queen ruled Ayodhya for 14 years. And Bharata was just doing the administration job. He was executing her orders. So in this process, Vedanta Deshika in his beautiful work called as Pādukā Sahasram, 1008 verses on Pādukā Devi, has been describing the greatness of Pādukā Devi and whatever little is possible, however little is possible, I have been trying to explain the meaning of those verses. We are just seeing a couple of them. In that sojourn to understand the greatness of Pādukā Devi better, Vedanta Deshika states in one of the verses, when Rama left Ayodhya and had to go to the forest, Lakshmana insisted that he will come. In Shringiverapura, when Guha said, Lakshmana, I have made a bet for you, he said, no, I will need to go around Rama and Sita and protect them. Throughout his life in the forest, he kept serving Rama and Sita, washing the utensils, doing the dishes, cutting the vegetables, cooking for them, hunting, building the Parnagashala. Everything was done by Lakshmana, besides being the security agency to Rama and Sita. Only when this security agency called Lakshmana went away could Ravana easily barge in and abduct Sita. Else it would have not been possible. So Lakshmana in every possible way was the ardent, fervent servant to Rama and Sita, as well as the brother, as well as the son-like person, as well as the protector. In a way, he protected Rama, he guarded Rama. So, Lakshmana guarded Rama. Who is at the same level of Lakshmana? Bharata. Because if given a choice, Rama would have said, okay, let Bharata come and Lakshmana stay back. So, Lakshmana or Bharata were in that position to protect Rama, guard Rama. So, Lakshmana protected Rama. Who is at the level of Lakshmana? Bharata. Now, who protected Bharata? Pādukā Devi. You remember I told that it is not as if Bharata was carrying the Padukas to Ayodhya. It was Pādukā Devi who was giving the necessary strength to Bharata to carry her to Ayodhya. So, in a way, Rama was protected by Lakshmana or Bharata, who was protected by Pādukā Devi, thereby proving the greatness of Pādukā Devi, says Vedanta Deshika. Ramam tvaya virahitam bharatam cha tena tratum padavani tada yadabhut pratitam Ramanujasya tava chamba jagat samastam jagarti tena khalu jagarana vratena. Then Vedanta Deshika states, now that he has brought in Lakshmana and Bharata into the conversation, he says, though these brothers may seem very, very obedient to Rama, if you get into the nitty-gritties, the details of the Ramayana, you may feel that they were not that obedient. When Rama said, Lakshmana, stay back in Ayodhya, I will manage on my own. Why do you have to come? Why should you leave Urmila, your wife? Why should you abandon the duty of serving your mother Sumitra? Stay back in Ayodhya, I will come. Sabhratus charanaugatham nipidya raghunandanaha sitam uvacha atishayam raghavam cha mahavratam am sarvam karishyami jagrataha swapatasthate. My dear brother, I will serve you throughout the forest. Take me along. So when Rama said stay back, Lakshmana fought back stating that no, I will come with you. So that element of obedience is not found in Lakshmana. When Rama thought that Bharata has got the kingdom as per the advice of Dasharatha, Kaikeyi, even his maternal grandfather, he should stay back in Ayodhya and rule. Instead, Bharata said, I will not rule Ayodhya. Without you, Rama, you have to come. So Rama had another disobedient brother called Bharata. He said, Bharata, you go back to Ayodhya. I will come after 14 years. I will not leave. Bharata said, don't leave Ayodhya, stay in Ayodhya, I will come after 14 years. Lakshmana said, I will not stay. So from the outset, it will look as if Bharata and Lakshmana are very obedient to Rama. But when Rama said, go back, he cried. When he said, don't come with me, he cried. Whereas Pādukā Devi, Rama, when he started from Ayodhya to the forest, he sported her. She came along with him. Later, when Bharata cried, Rama said, Pādukā, go with Bharata. She said, okay. When Rama said, come, she came. When Rama said, you go with Bharata, she went. So, who is more obedient? Lakshmana was asked not to come, he cried and he came. Bharata was asked to sit in Ayodhya, he cried and said, I will not rule, give me your Pādukā. So, both of them were disobedient, where Pādukā was obedient. So, Vedanta Deshika says, the pair of Pādukas are more obedient than Ramanuja, the brothers of Ramanuja or Rama, whose Bharata and Lakshmana. Here the shloka goes, Bhratur niyogepya nivartamanam rajyabhishekam cha parityajantam Ramanujautau nanu paratantriya duvavubhabhyam bhavati jigaya duvavubhabhyam. These two Pādukas are much more obedient than those two, the brothers of Rama called Bharata and Lakshmana, says Vedanta Deshika. Then, see, generally we go to universities. There will be medical students joining medical colleges. They will be doing MBBS, MD and so on. Engineers will be joining engineering colleges. They may do post-graduation. There will be art students. There will be commerce students. There will be architecture students. There will be visual communication students. We have a variety of faculties these days. Now, every college, every university will wait for that moment when one of their earlier students will become a big person in the society, contributing to the betterment of the society. They will say, notable alumni. They are very important to us. So, thereby, over a period of time, if the person who has passed out, the alma mater is so strong, then that college will be known by their name. Oh, this is the place where Abdul Kalam ji studied. This is the place where Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan studied. So the college may slowly lose its identity and that will become the place where that person has studied. So while each king ruled Ayodhya in the Ikshvaku Kulam, they had their own set of achievements. So they will call it Ikshvaku period, Mandhata period, Ajamaharaja's period, Dasharatha's period. So as that king would rule, that particular era will be called Dasharatha era. it will be called as Mandhata era, Ikshvaku era. After the demise of Dasharatha and before Rama could take up the administration for the 14 years, Pādukā Devi, the queen, ruled, right? Then, from then on, it was just not called Pādukā era. Then it used to be called pre-Pādukā and post-Pādukā. All those kings lost their identity. On a very negative note, I'm telling you, this Pādukā Devi is on a positive note. During the pandemic, we had a lot of problems throughout the world. People suffered. So from then on, now the conversation is, before the pandemic, it used to be like this. After the pandemic, it has become like this. Similarly, the period conversation became like that. Before Pādukā Devi ruled, these were the problems. After Pādukā Devi's regime, there are no problems. So Pādukā Devi became the talking point. Rajyam tada dasharathadanuramatah prag bibhranaya charana rakshini vita khedam tulyadhikara bhajanena babhuva dhanyo vamshastvayam vanuvamshamahipatinam. Why was her regime so popular? Is a question that you have. Valid question. See, during Dasharatha's regime, you had problems. What were the problems? Dasharatha, as a young prince, killed a young boy called as Shravanakumara. Thereby, after killing him, his parents also died. So, there was a problem in Dasharatha's regime. In Dasharatha's regime, he is the one who promised in haste and repented in leisure, giving the promise that I will give whatever you want to Kaikeyi. That is why he had to suffer. So, it is not as if Dasharatha's era was bereft of blemishes. It had its own set of problems. Rama Rajyam, after Rama came back to Ayodhya, after 14 years, was his Rajyam good? Largely good, but 2-3 blemishes that often readers, even critics, cite. 1. How could he send the pregnant wife of his, Sita, in her first trimester to the forest? Will any sane person do it? They ask. On the other hand, they also say, sir, later many children died. There was one particular period where newborn children were dead. And while they wanted to understand what could be the reason, is it a viral attack, is it a pandemic, epidemic, endemic, they found out, some scholars opined that a person who is not conforming to Shastras is performing tapas. He is not ought to perform tapas. He is doing it for a different reason, a reason which is not validated by Shastras. He is doing for a selfish note, not for the society. Then Rama went and killed that person called Shambhuka with a sword. So these are some of the accusations. You say Rama is Purushottama, Maryada Purushottam. Why did he send pregnant Sita to the forest? Why did he have to kill Shambhuka? These are some of the accusations. Let us go into justifying all those acts. What are the reasons for it? Is it convincing or not? Later. But these are the accusations. So in Dasharatha Rajyam, you had problems. In Rama Rajyam too, there are so-called problems. But what happened in the 14 years when Pādukā Devi ruled? Not one child died suddenly. Not was one person killed. No scam, no financial misappropriation. Everything was perfect. So her Rajyam was great, says Vedanta Deshika. Varshani tani vrishalo na tapam sitepe balo na kaschidapi mrityuvasham jagama balopi mrityuvasham. Children did not die. When many children die in a kingdom, suddenly it becomes a great cause. Infant mortality is not great. Rajyeta vambara gupungava padarakshe naiva param pratividheyava bhur prasaktam. So her regime was the best. Her era was known as Pādukā era. Conversation became pre-Pādukā, post-Pādukā. She was greater than Lakshmana and Bharata by being obedient to Rama. She was the first companion to Rama while Rama left to the forest. She was more obedient than Sita. She is the Vishgranting Kalpaka tree. She is like the eyes of Padukas. Her eyes represent Valmiki and Vyasa. Her jingling, this jingling sound of Saraswati and the walking of the Padukas were especially inspiring for Valmiki to compose the shlokas of Ramayana. Her greatness, even if you convert the sky into the paper, the blueness from the seas into the ink, and then the 1,000-hooded Adisesha to speak, even then her greatness cannot be written. So, verse after verse, Vedanta Deshika has just developed and created such an ornate work which is unparalleled in Sanskritam literature. But I cannot go on and on with Pādukā Sahasram. We have Rama. While Bharata is celebrating Pādukā Devi's greatness, Rama has to go ashramam after ashramam into the forest because he has promised his father that he will live in the forest for 14 years, in the Aranyas. So, Ayodhya Kandam is what we will be going next to.
Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a two-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.